Today's experience was sent to us by a brother. He was shown a kind of torment the LGBTQ are subjected to, and also a shocking truth was revealed to him concerning their next agenda upon the earth. Kindly stay to the end to fully understand his experience. Hi, my name is James Frank. Over the years, I had become known for my skill and discipline on the field as a footballer. I had won numerous competitions, lifted trophies, and my name had become a staple in local football circles. People would talk about my exploits, how I could turn a match around with a single pass or a well-placed header. I wasn't just another player, I had become a leader, someone others looked up to and respected. It felt good to know that all my hard work had made me stand out. That evening, like many others, I was on the pitch for practice. As we practiced headers, I saw the ball coming toward me. I timed my jump perfectly, ready to nod it into the net, unaware that this moment would change everything. As I leapt into the air, focused on heading the ball, I didn't see my wife, who was also my teammate, coming toward me. In an instant, our heads collided with a force I hadn't expected. The impact was sharp and immediate, like a hammer striking steel. I felt a jolt of pain, and then everything went blurry. I remember hitting the ground hard. Suddenly, it was like I was slipping away. The world around me became distant, and a strange, eerie quiet settled over everything. My vision faded, and I couldn't feel anything anymore, just an overwhelming emptiness. Then, out of nowhere, I realized I was looking down at myself. There I was, lying motionless on the field, surrounded by my teammates. Some were shaking me, shouting my name, while others rushed to get help, but I wasn't in my body anymore. I was floating above the scene, watching it unfold like a dream. It was surreal, as though I had been detached from everything I knew. I tried to speak, but nothing came out. Panic started to build inside me as I hovered there, unsure of what was happening. Suddenly, I noticed something in the distance. It was dark, darker than the night sky, like a storm cloud. Slowly, it began to descend toward me, swirling in an unnatural way. My heart raced as I watched it come closer, an overwhelming sense of dread filling my chest. The closer it got, the more the air around me seemed to buzz with tension, like static electricity before a lightning strike. I tried to move, to run, but I couldn't. I was frozen in place, trapped in this eerie space between life and death. Then, through the thick, swirling darkness, figures emerging from the cloud. Demons. They lilt as if they had been waiting for me, anticipating this moment. The fear hit me like a wave, crashing over me, drowning me in panic. I didn't understand what was happening, but I knew deep inside that whatever this was, it wasn't good. I was utterly powerless, engulfed by the darkness and the presence of these demons. My mind raced, but there was no escape, only the overwhelming dread of what was to come. In the blink of an eye, everything changed. One moment, I was hovering above the football field, surrounded by that dark cloud and the demons. The next, I was ripped away from the scene entirely. It felt like I was being pulled at lightning speed, the world around me a blur as the demons dragged me away. I had no control, just an overwhelming sense of falling deeper and deeper into a pit I couldn't see the bottom of. And then suddenly, I found myself in a place so horrifying, words could barely describe it. Hell. It wasn't fire and brimstone like people imagine, but something far worse, an atmosphere of complete despair. The air was thick with misery, suffocating in its intensity. Everything was bathed in a sickly red glow. Screams echoed from every direction. All around me I saw souls, countless souls trapped in torment. They were writhing, twisted in pain, as demons whipped and beat them mercilessly. Their faces were etched with suffering, their eyes filled with a desperate longing for mercy that would never come. Some were bound in chains, dragged across the ground by the demons, while others seemed to burn from within, as if their very existence was a living flame. I watched in horror, unable to comprehend what I was seeing. The torment was beyond anything I could have ever imagined. Every scream, every lash from the demons, sent a wave of terror through me. I knew somehow that this was a place of no return, a place where suffering was eternal. And the worst part, I was a part of it now. As I stood there engulfed in the torment and chaos of hell, I noticed something strange. The demons led me through different parts of this horrifying place, and soon I found myself in a specific section that felt different from the rest. The suffering here seemed even more intense, the cries more desperate. I couldn't understand why at first, but then it hit me. I was in a part of hell reserved for those who had lived in the LGBTQ lifestyle. The realization struck me like a bolt of lightning. I wasn't one of them. I had never engaged in those actions. So why was I here? My heart raced as I tried to make sense of it all, panic rising inside me. I began to understand that I wasn't meant to be one of the tormented souls in this section. I was there to witness something, to see the truth of what was happening, and to share it with the world. There was a purpose to my presence, a message I needed to carry back. As terrifying as it was, I knew that I had to pay attention to what was unfolding before me. As I looked around in this part of hell, the torment of the LGBTQ souls became painfully clear. Their punishments were tailored to the very actions they had indulged in during their earthly lives, a direct consequence of the choices they had made. Some were bound together in chains, forced into positions that mocked the very acts they had participated in on earth. Their bodies writhing in unrelenting pain, they cried out, their voices raw and broken, pleading for forgiveness. They screamed, seeking for mercy. Their confessions came not from a place of repentance, but from sheer desperation, driven by the unimaginable torment they were enduring. They shouted their regrets, but it seemed like it was too late for any kind of redemption. The demons circled around them. They mocked their pleas, laughing cruelly, letting them know how they were so proud, and flaunted in their sin. And now look where they are. Another demon let them know how they have deceived them for years, made them believe they were free. But this is their true freedom, eternal suffering. The demons knew that they had succeeded in their deception, and they mocked the souls for falling into their trap. The scene was unbearable to watch, and yet I couldn't look away. The demons began to reveal their plans. They spoke of a grand strategy to influence earthly policies, to embed their ideology into the very fabric of society. They were determined to ensure that the LGBTQ lifestyle became normalized, to make it an accepted part of life, thereby leading more souls away from the truth. The demons expressed their delight at how easily they had managed to deceive humanity. They spoke of infiltrating schools, media, and political arenas, manipulating narratives to present their ideology as progressive and just. They reveled in the idea that people would embrace these beliefs, thinking they were fighting for freedom and equality, all while straying further from God's design. Their strategy was clear: to mislead more souls into believing that these choices were acceptable. They planned to raise individuals who would champion their cause, convincing others that the LGBTQ lifestyle was not only normal, but desirable. The demons were relentless, vowing to intensify their efforts, happy to see their deception spreading like a disease. The more they could confuse and mislead, the more souls they would claim, dragging them into this same pit of torment. It was a wicked plan, crafted with precision and fueled by the suffering I was witnessing all around me. As I stood in the midst of this horrific scene, watching the torment of others, I suddenly felt a sharp, burning pain radiate through my body. My vision blurred, and before I could process what was happening, I was thrown to the ground by an invisible force. My body twisted in ways it shouldn't have, and every nerve felt like it was on fire. The agony was unbearable. I tried to cry out, but my voice was caught in my throat, suffocated by the overwhelming pain. This wasn't just physical. It felt as if my very soul was being torn apart. Suddenly, a hush fell over the chaos, and the atmosphere grew even darker. I turned to see a figure emerging from the shadows, larger, more imposing than any of the other demons. This higher-ranked demon revealed a message, and though its voice never raised, the weight of its words was undeniable. It spoke of humanity's downfall, the destruction that would come, and the inevitable rise of evil forces in the world. There was a sense of triumph in its tone, as it unveiled the demon's plans to bring countless souls into hell, not through force, but through deceit and manipulation. The demon revealed that they were working tirelessly to ensure humanity continued down a path of destruction, leading more people away from God. The demon spoke of how they would lead humans astray, not through obvious means, but by disguising lies as truth and turning morality upside down. It gloated about the influence they had over society, how people were already embracing the very sins that would ultimately condemn them. The demon made it clear that mankind's fate was sealed if they continued on this path. Their plan was working, and they would stop at nothing to ensure as many souls as possible ended up in this place of torment. Just as I thought the torment would never end, I felt myself being pulled back away from the scene, away from the agony. The sound of the demon's wicked laughter echoed in my ears, fading as I was suddenly yanked back to the football field. In an instant, I found myself jolted back to reality. The overwhelming darkness that had engulfed me faded away, replaced by the familiar sight of the football field. My eyes blinked open and I was lying on the grass, surrounded by worried faces. My teammates and the medical staff hovered over me. As I slowly regained my awareness, the memories of my experience in hell flooded back. Every scream, every torment. I tried to sit up, but a wave of dizziness washed over me, forcing me to lie back down. As I lay on the football field surrounded by the concerned faces of my teammates and the medical team, a profound realization settled in my heart. I want to call on believers everywhere to stand firm against sinful acts. We are living in a time when morality is being twisted, and it's easy to be swept away by the tide of acceptance for behaviors that lead to destruction. It is crucial for all of us to avoid any actions that go against God's will, especially those that promote lifestyles contrary to his design. Specifically, I felt compelled to warn against LGBTQ lifestyles. The suffering I witnessed in hell was a direct consequence of choices made on earth. It's not just about personal freedom, it's about understanding the spiritual implications of those choices. Those who embrace such lifestyles must realize that they are walking a dangerous path, one that could lead to eternal torment. But even in this warning, my experience left me with a powerful message. We must urgently pray for repentance and enlightenment. We should seek God's mercy for those who are lost, that they may see the truth and turn away from the deceptions that lead them astray. We need to intercede for our world, to cry out for those ensnared in sin, so they might come to know the love and salvation offered through Christ. Let us not remain silent. The stakes are too high, and the time for action is now. Together we can make a difference by praying fervently for a revival of faith, truth, and repentance. Let us commit to nurturing our relationship with God, empowering ourselves through prayer, and sharing the message of salvation with those around us. Together we can resist the deceptions of the enemy and lead others toward the light and love of Christ. All right, friends, this brings us to end of today's experience. Kindly like and share this video with your friends and family. Kindly subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification bell icon to be the first to get updated anytime we upload a new experience sent to us. Remain blessed.